Welcome to watch this video, Face and Head, an exhibition design video of my solo art show.
Face and Head. In this exhibition, we explore how to express face and head in self-portraits, paintings of family and friends, and in abstraction by using pencil, chalk pastel, watercolor, acrylic, and collage. We also use photography to record faces found in nature or random objects around us. Finally, we study different artistic projection of facial expression by photographing sculptures of Auguste Rodin and those discovered in ancient Turkey.
There is one person in the world who is the best subject to paint. This person is always cooperative, highly available, never complained, never asked to paint him look better looking, accept any challenge, willing to pose from any angles, in any condition, under any lighting, and free. The person is myself. I am the best subject to paint. A portrait painter who rendered intimate and vulnerable private images. In April 2018, I painted 2 portraits as my final gifts to my late stepfather while he was on his deathbed. He received them happily before his death and led me to paint more portraits to show my love to my loved ones, my family members, friends, and even colleagues, to express my affection toward them. In the meantime, I started to enjoy painting self-portraits in many unconventional compositions and angles. I realized I'm the only model in the world who will always be available, fully cooperate, and never complain. 3 artists, Chuck Close, George O'Keeffe, and Hong Liu, highly influenced my art making. After learning how Close embraced his abilities into his work, his story encouraged me to follow his footsteps. His art making process affirmed me to utilize photograph and grid method to illustrate faces to maintain proportion accuracy. O'Keeffe's close-in, big flower style urged me to re-examine facial illustrations from different angles and distance to render an intimate and vulnerable private image, away from the traditional public image portrait painting. O'Keeffe's repeating painting of the same subject and composition also encouraged me to explore different mediums and style on the same composition. Finally, Liu opened up my imagination and inspired me to set up a mission to put more Asian faces into Western art museums. I'm now investing and redefining portrait and self-portrait painting for the coming era. Family members are hard to paint. There is too much emotional attachment, and it is difficult to break through the psychological barriers. It is hardest to paint my mother, because in my heart, she is always prettier and nicer than any of my attempts to capture her. It is much easier to illustrate my stepfather, because he is highly confident and loved me so much that he always sees any of my drawing as good work. It is very difficult to paint my wife, because I can never capture all her true beauty. It is easier to paint my daughter, because she always adores me and tolerates my failed attempts. My son is difficult to paint, because it is hard to reflect his brilliance from my work. Murphy and Buddy, my 2 dogs, are easy to paint, because they never have an opinion of my work as long as I walk them. I feel it is complicated to paint family members, but I will paint them anyway to show my love toward them. Deeply influenced by the artworks of Wang Kichik Butu exhibited in the new museum during May 2023, I started to create collages of figures from cutouts and the fragments of newspapers and magazines. In these works, I explore the forming of face and or head in abstraction and consider how to define the character of a figure with pre-existing lines, shapes, and texture. Friends. I love to render my dear friends, mostly pastors and worship leaders in two churches, Home of Christ Church in Cupertino and Peninsula Bible Church, Cupertino, to express my love and prayer for them. These paintings are based on pictures I took during the Sunday service, what they spoke on the stage. Several of them are in pairs with a pencil study followed by watercolor work. I enjoy painting my friends. I pray for them the moment I paint them, and it is a gesture for me to show my love to them. Everywhere. One of my daily morning routine is walking buddy and praying for my classmates on the Anza College campus. I often discover shadows or objects that resemble faces during my walk. I took a photo of them. Face can be seen everywhere if we pay attention. Many of this work in this section were filmed on my trip to Goblin Valley State Park in Utah during my 2021 trip. God created these muddy goblins by the changing force of nature, rain, and sunlight, using dirt. In the Bible, God created Adam, the first human being, by using dirt. We, therefore, are not very different from these goblins. The only difference is God blew His Spirit as breath into Adam and us, Christ followers, in John chapter 20. They are sculptures by the greatest artist, and I am the one who records his artistic creation by camera. Jackson. Observing sculptures and taking photographs of them inside a museum are amazing experiences. The artists create sculptures to freeze their form, facial expression, and gesture. The curator places them with background and constraints of lighting. And I, the photographer, freeze the observation angles, distance, size, rotation, cropping, and lighting. Photographs of these sculptures project and freeze the three-dimensional artistic expression made by the artist 100 or 2,000 of years ago into a two-dimensional expression today. My artistic contribution in this work are therefore the selection of filming conditions. Some of these photographers were filmed inside Stanford University, California, on the work of August Rodin, and while the rest were filmed inside Istanbul Archaeological Museum, Istanbul, Turkey, and Antalya Archaeological Museum, Antalya, Turkey.